And another moment later, a normal standard guard will run up to Zyn while he's feeding the bat or doing whatever he does with the bat.
He's probably feeding the bat right now. He's been up for quite a while.
Yeah.
Already going through the motions of training Aiden, his bat.
Mm-hmm.
And is ready for anything, really.
Yep, then the guard shows up and also informs him that something seems to have happened in the small praying spot in the garden.
Then we'll frown and tell the guard to lead the way.
The guard leads the way.
Stumbling down the staircase, I've been fucking hate this stupid family. Why do I always get dragged to this? Oh, God. Of course, it's another demon lord. Maybe she can't read a pistol. I hate this garden. Fucking always so confusing. Ow, snack me. Fucking hate this place.
A quiet grumble was heard in the distance.
We might as well have Rilinid just wearing like an ostentatious like silk bathrobe or some shit.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
it's like slippers all.
With like the mask and like the funeral shirt around his head. He's got
Do you have Sakari slippers just like Tristan?
They're probably modeled after some sort of hell beast he's seen Tristan summon before.
Oh, so the pony then?
Yes, pony slippers. He was like, well, it looks really fucking scary. So
Look at that thing! It charged right into the rift. It was...
So yes, complete ostentatiousness.
It's quite the spectacle.
All he needs is a pipe.
He probably has a pipe.
Pipe and a dim light, yes.
Yeah.
Gotta show off the colors.
Tarlin is back at the scene before Rilinid arrives, and Zyn arrives probably around the same time.
I take it you slept well, brother? Zyn addresses to Rilinid.
Alauneari looks annoyed at Zyn, even if the comment wasn't directed at her.
Well then, what happened here?
Alauneari stood up. Someone entered the shrine, saw that a murder had happened, screamed, and then this. It seems that the body has been attacked by something with claws and teeth, and it seems that some tissue damage has been done by freezing. In addition to that, someone used the victim's blood to make mockings of Agaris on the altar.
So, first of all, would that be something that you could take 20 on a perception check on?
I mean, if you really sit down and work at the scene for an hour or two.
No.
Can Tristan do a planes check now that she knows that there's mockering?
Well, not really. I mean, that doesn't really tell her too much what it could be.
You need to ask probably Alauneari to like read out what's written.
She's not gonna ask Alauneari. She's in a bad mood.
Rilinid says, markings of Agaris. Could you explain, Alauneari?
She will read out. Oh, well, no, she actually will not read out. She will, because Rilinid speaks goddamn abyssal.
Rilinid does not read abyssal.
Oh, well...
I'm too busy learning 19,000 different languages, yeah.
Alauneari will say out some of the things, however she will not refer to Agaris when doing so.
Do you do this in front of the crowd?
No, I mean, the crowd is left now, right?
I'm still being held here by Rain, basically.
They can leave. We know where they sleep.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have the...
And we will remind them of that.
Extensively.
I'll have the guards moved away then.
That's right, no one leaves until the mystery's been solved. Clap, clap, smile.
So considering there's like claw and bite marks, would Zyn know of any like animal kind of creature or aberration or something that would do that?
I mean, you can make a nature check for animal.
Well, every time you do that, you always say it's Sakari.
You know, it might have been Zakari.
Tarlin, moves up behind Rain and whispers, "Then, my lord, should we perhaps close the gates to Vothas until this is resolved, or do you wish to have them remain open?"
Close the gates for now.
He nods. "Very well. I'll take care of it."
Wouldn't dungeoneering be more appropriate, Jonas?
And he sweeps off.
Tristan looks at Sakari and says, "Follow him."
Zakari shrugs and follows Tarlin.
Alauneari would like to, first and foremost, before everyone gets into doing stuff, she would like to try the easy way. So she will cast Speak with Dead upon the dead man. I will just link the spell.
Sure.
If he is heavily damaged, his answers could be cryptic or brief.
All right.
If he doesn't have a tongue, he cannot speak.
It would be heavily damaged in this case.
Yeah,
His
alright.
case got torn up pretty badly.
He can also only answer things he knew in life.
All right.
And if he doesn't want to, he can make a will save to not have to talk to her.
Well, while the casting is going on.
Yep, takes 10 minutes.
Yep. Zyn, let's see. You are looking at the body again. Yes. So nature or dungeoneering. You can roll whichever you want.
Let's do that. Wow, that's actually not a one.
All right. Wonderful. All of this is going great for you. Well, there are many things in the Underdark that could do this. You don't really know. You don't get clear image of what it could be.
Could have been a Froghemoth for all I know.
It could have been. An
Maybe
icy
it was.
An icy Froghemoth.
Oh god, an icy Froghemoth.
Or it could be
Run.
Sakari. You have seen him done similar damage. Yes. Let's see here. Rilinid. I missed. Did you take a look at this the scripture?
No, can't.
Okay.
Don't read Abyssal.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Just
I
like.
I let some. I read it out.
All right.
Oh yeah. Right.
She said she read it out, just blurbing out the bits about Alauneari.
All right.
specifically with
If
the name.
anyone has knowledge planes, you can make a roll for that when she reads it out.
How about that?
Oh goodness gracious!
The summoner does it again.
Well, it's her best roll except for religion.
It's like I don't even feel like rolling. It's not.
Wow, I'm honored.
Tristan has an epiphany while she listens to all of this.
So he goes,
Yeah, basically, and coquettishly, her hand moves to her mouth, like.
Fucking Agatha Christie novel.
Yeah. Yep.
Does she then raise a finger and wait for Alauneari to point to her?
I have gathered you all today to. No. She recognizes some of the language and some of the phrasing, actually. She does believe that these are curses and prayers to Shax, the Blood Marquis, the demon lord of envy, lies, and particularly violent murder.
while Alauneari is doing her thing, she will walk to Rilinid and give him this information.
Rilinid will then say, look at the body, and back at Tristan, look back at the body, and say, it seems obvious that perhaps some relative of Satha Savastia who somehow noticed the death and subsequent takeover, perhaps a relative who can summon demons, given the damage and the type of tissue damage resulting in that, not natural, perhaps demon-like, someone who would hold a grudge against us or against the demon lord we worship. Could have been anything summoned from the abyss.
Tristan looks at his slippers and says, could have been a pony.
The most devilish pony.
Yes. A pony.
Once we get to the surface and see like a whole field of them.
Really thinks. So then, Trestlin, do you perhaps know or have heard of any sort of demons summoned by wizards or sorcerers who could have caused such a thing as what transpired here?
Person in my head.
Knowledge planes.
Round 2.
Person in my head.
She says that actually out loud in front of Rilinid.
No.
Well, I knew
Well,
she
no,
was
Ahead of
weird.
Sakari.
21.
There are certainly a lot of demons in Shax's service. Looking at the wounds and what you've seen, could have been a shadow demon.
Just want to look at Rilinid. My guess is a shadow demon.
Shadow demon. What's so special about them?
Let me tell you.
Now, let me tell you a story.
Exactly.
Go on.
This is when she delved into the abyss and found a shadow.
I like stories.
Me too.
Oh gosh. Shadow demons, as she would know, are basically living shadows conjured forth from the abyss. They are quite vicious and quite stealthy, actually. She does know that they have a range of abilities to help them sneak around. They can blend in shadows. They are very fast, and depending on sort of its level of power, they can do a big host of special things. She also knows that sunlight is very harmful to them, although you're quite a long way from sunlight here.
Well, she will give this information to Rilinid.
I see. Very difficult to find. Perhaps we can ask around. Perhaps not. How does this creature blend in when it does its whatever it does?
Well, Tristan does know that it can hide in shadows and basically travel in someone's shadow.
Great.
Basically jump out of it and, well, do whatever it wants and then blend back into another shadow. As long as there's shadow, the creature can basically teleport.
Yeah, so bad news.
Realistic. Fantastic. So all we need to do is find a supposed person who maybe has this shadow demon thing living inside their shadow, completely drag them into a room full of bright light.
I suppose.
Don't suppose there's any other more comfortable ideas you have, are there?
Unless that Jonas has any more information about the shadow, then no.
Fantastic. Then we have to deal with this.
At this point, the spell hits on Jimbal's corpse. And, as the spell takes hold, there is a sort of glimmer inside the skull. And it slowly and morbidly sort of turns towards Alauneari. Who summons me back?
Is Alauneari of House Vytharia, and I demand answers to my questions.
Alauneari of House Vytharia. Yes, I remember you.
Who or what killed you?
Seems to consider and says, I am not sure. I was on my way to the shrine. Then I was dead. I heard something. Someone walking behind me. Seems to think I saw a shadow. Small shadow. And then nothing.
Well, that pretty much does it. She looks at the others to see if they have any ideas for questions. Because yeah, I guess you can ask 2 more. Anything else we need to know, brethren? Seems this at least positions what creature attacked.
Why would he kill this particular acolyte? What makes them special, if anything?
They were here.
Were there any other acolytes who had cause to want him dead, perhaps?
Ask, were there anyone whom you think would want you dead, or who had been acting strangely recently?
He silent for a bit, and then he said, I had enemies in the cult. They did not like my rise to prominence. Seems to think strangely. There was one. I do not remember his name.
Well, I will then say that give us a description. Give us all the information we would need to find him. Or the one.
Neo.
Yep. Yeah. It's silent for a bit. And then it says, small of stature. Ugly. A smell about him. Of cold and dead winter. Something in his eyes. A darkness. Seems to think more. Not a drow.
Yeah, I mean, everything Alauneari's heard up till now has been like a gnome. Listens.
Nothing more seems to come of it.
Alright, well, that's 3 questions then, so the spell ends.
Yep. The corpse go back to its inert state.
Trestlin, convey to Alauneari what you expressed in regarding my questions.
Tristan will tell what she knows about the shadow to Alauneari.
Alauneari looks very tired.
And she will tell her what Demon Lord that is being
Referenced, yeah.
yeah.
Alauneari will give a appreciative nod to Tristan. And, well, she'll of course know something about the Demon Lord.
Yes.
This does look like a particularly grisly murder, but it is also blasphemy,
Oh, yes.
which is
Yeah.
very illegal. Alauneari wishes that they had never been discovered for just a second, so she wouldn't have to deal with this. But they were. So, the law is the law. Besides, this is kind of an insult.
Yeah. It's kind of more
She
than
does
law
not.
at this point.
It does not. It's personal.
It's personal, and therefore it is law.
That's exactly how it
It
works.
seems self-explanatory to me. Yeah.
Someone small and cold. And non-drow, meaning a gnome. There can't be that many gnomes in the city since the gates are closed. Let's gather them all up.
And then we kill them, and then we are done.
The
He sort of shrugs.
The concern would be gathering them all up would perhaps alert whoever did this. There's no telling whether a gnome is actually responsible. I am loath to believe a gnome is capable of such power as has been displayed here. If these shadow demons are capable of hiding in things, perhaps this shadowy thing is hiding in a gnome.
Oh, no, that is exactly what I found.
From stance, would it just move if it sees us all trying to gather them all up?
If this thing can hide in shadows, I don't think we have enough power to light up the entirety of Arthas.
There is maybe 100 or 200 gnomes in the city.
Perhaps we would be best served by consulting with this creature's friends, or at least those it thought it could side with in any sort of power play, and in turn we can find out who sought to act against it, or some other creature that might have been acting strangely.
So what do you suggest then?
We do exactly that.
It hasn't targeted any of us yet, but that doesn't mean that it won't.
No, it did. It targeted Agares.
He targeted all of us.
And this is a
If
situation
we fail to
which
deal with this, think about how it would seem. How it would be.
Does the body still have its eyes?
It's missing one of the eyes. It seems to be basically punctured, as if someone grabbed at the skull and basically used their thumb to punch in the eye.
So it hasn't been removed, it's just punched in.
Yeah.
Whoever did this has fingers.
No, it's not that. It's if it was a ritual or not. But it's not a ritual.
The mocking. It's been done quickly, most likely. Yeah. Alauneari will tell Tristan that this altar should be pristine as quickly as possible.
Tristan gives a bow and nods.
And, yeah.
As you talk among yourself, you do notice someone approaching. And if you turn around, you see Ivy approaching.
Now that you turn around, I know how she walks.
She takes in the scene, corrects an eyebrow, and shakes her head and says, "Well, isn't this a mess and a half?"
And Harry looks to her. She has very little patience right now.
Ivy
That's very visible.
Ivy bows towards the matron.
We've seen worse.
Looking at the body. That is grisly indeed. Sort of getting closer. Has anyone said anything? Sort of motioning to the closed gates and the people sort of milling about.
Let's all look at Rain.
Yeah. Alauneari gestured for Rain to fill her in on what's going on.
She will then step closer to Rain and look up at him.
Rain will give a basic report. Basically, though, overall, so far,
What we know.
Well,
what we know, and the fact that the people seem to be absolutely useless at telling us stuff.
she gives a brief smile. Well, Lord Commander, if I may be so bold, perhaps you are frightening them in overmuch. Perhaps a more gentle approach is is to be preferred. I often find that honey does much in when the whip will not suffice.
Alauneari gives a derisive snort.
Rilinid likes Ivy lecturing about this. This is great.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not the best at that way of interrogation. I'm afraid.
She smiles. I'm sure your ways are very effective upon the troops, my lord. But when it comes to the common people, perhaps me and my little whisperers can be of more help.
Alauneari is half a mind to sacrifice all of the common people.
Tristan looks at Ivy. In this case, can you help us get information out of them?
Of course, my lady. It is what I do, after all.
Thank you.
You didn't appoint me to be Mistress of Whisperers as just a sham, now, did you? She smiles, almost facetiously up at Tristan.
Tristan doesn't know whatever that smile means.
Okay, it's like a hint of sarcasm.
Yeah, she doesn't know sarcasm either.
Oh, okay. Well,
She'll just okay. Tristan will look through Sakari's eyes to see what he sees. She can do that.
he's currently walking close to Tarlin, who seems to be, overseeing the gates currently. She sees Tetherqual on the main gate, over yonder, and Tarlin on the back gate.
Okay. She will look at Ivy. I guess you'll have much to do now then.
She nods. I will get right to it then, mistress.
This cannot be a situation which is resolved by only you or your whisperers. This act is a personal insult to me, and as such I will be accompanying in this endeavor.
She will look at Ivy. It's priestess, not mistress.
She bows. Of course. Pardons, priestess.
It's okay. I just want to tell you.
Ivy turns around to Rilinid. Lord Rilinid, your presence, although I must say I enjoyed quite a bit, it is rather intimidating.
Rilinid just sort of like...
She sort of motions to the mask and shroud and slippers, I guess.
Go on.
Give me a day, and I will ask around. I do have a lot of connections, especially amongst the gnome population. If a gnome did this, I think I will be quite effective at figuring out by myself. She motions towards Rilinid. If you insist, of course, I cannot stop you. She holds up a finger. One day, my lord, it's all I ask.
Rilinid will let out a sort of stony laugh.
Very well. You will be given one day as requested. To discern this information, as trust is being put in your ability, and as it will delay in our investigation ourselves, failure will result in unfortunate consequences, for our very patron has been insulted by this act.
She nods. Understood, my lord. I will report my findings as soon as I have them.
Then you are released.
She nods, bows towards Alauneari, whispering matron, nods to the rest of you, my lords, and then she skulks off, drawing up her cloak hood and seemingly just blending into the crowd and just disappearing in a flash almost.
I thought she might be useful years ago. I do hope I don't have to sacrifice her myself.
What do you mean?
Failure is not an option. This is desecration, and is intolerable.
Alauneari nods. If need be, we will kill every single living thing in this place to get whoever did it.
Well, if we do, then we should definitely have the perpetrator among those we sacrifice, won't we?
Yes, if there are no more shadows within it that it can hide in, sooner or later it will be forced out.
Rilinid looks left past the dim light and into the darkness, looks right past the dim light and into the darkness. Thinks better of mentioning that.
What level of scrolls can be bought in Zan?
Oh god, daylight scroll.
Not too much. You can buy up to level 4 scrolls in Sun. You can buy. Let's see. Alchemists don't produce scrolls, right?
No.
Not technically.
It should say by the city blurb.
No, it's level 4. The alchemist is, of course, a very powerful alchemist, and if you need something he can produce, there is very little limit to what he can do.
You don't want to. This is not something for them
Nope.
to deal with.